So, Mr. Vinkesh, could you just shed some light on the whole BS4 stocks that are pending with the current dealerships?
So actually, we have gone to Supreme Court and got a good hearing and got some part of relief what we requested. So overall, still not able to speak a lot because it's sub judice, but as per the Supreme Court guidelines, whatever vehicles have been sold has to be registered till 30th April. So obviously, majority of these states are working on those guidelines, and whatever vehicle we have done sold before 31st March, because Navratri was there, so we were expecting people who have booked the vehicles at our place, and they were expecting to take delivery during the season. But as the lockdown came in, so we had the bookings, we had the payment, we had the finance approvals. So all the vehicles which were going through this process has been sold. So those are continuing in the process of being registered as per the Supreme Court guideline. We still have a window of 10% of whatever stocks we have to be sold later once the lockdown opens as per the Supreme Court guideline. So overall, a positive order from Supreme Court, and we are working to see what happens, and dealers are not stuck with BS4 vehicle after this period.
So, what happens to the rest of the stock apart from the 10% which the court has actually allowed to be sold?
So most of the companies have announced that they'll take back those vehicles. Most haven't gone to public, but internally the message is to dealers that if we are not able to register those vehicles, if it doesn't come in this 10% bracket, so they will be taken back, or company will have to see, because actually the dealers cannot take the hit for the 100% of the vehicle. The margins are very less. So obviously here the companies will have to come up and see, I don't know, maybe if they are using some normal CATCOMs or some base technology to upgrade from BS4, BS6, maybe it is possible like they did in BS3, BS4. So, but because of the lockdowns and a lot of communication is, general verbal is happening. But practically, once the lockdown is over, we'll be able to report to company what exactly is left over. Then we'll see what kind of support they give. But obviously, all OEMs know that this is the problem, and they are behind the dealerships to support that.
Recently, FADA had written a letter to Prime Minister Modi. Could you just shed some light on the points that were taken up?
See, actually, if you talk about the dealership as of now, the biggest problem is working capital, which relates obviously to the cash also, liquidity also. So what we have requested in the working capital support was that one, that during the lockdown, as we are not able to sell anything, we have the stocks, we have the infra, we have the manpower, but we are not able to retail. And we normally work at a very, like I repeated before also, a safer thin margin. Our rotation is the major profit earner. If the turnover is not happening, what will be earned? So what we have requested that the interest on whatever types of loan has been given to us, like working capital, term loan, CC limit, should be done to zero during the lockdown period, because we are not able to use that money which we have already taken from the banks. The second point was obviously seeing the future going in. You must have got through a lot of reports that auto and these malls and the movie theaters and all, these are the category where you will see very slow coming back of the economy. So we had requested for at least the coming year, we should be given a special subsidy of 4% less interest rate from the banks, because we feel that we need a lot of time to come back. And the third, we have requested for easing of the cash crunch. We have to pay the salaries and regular rents and whatever limits we have, the automatic limit extension of 20% more. So that at least if a dealer has 2 crore limit, so he gets another 40 lakhs, so that at least he can be able to support his employees for the coming 2-3 months, whatever the lockdown happen or whenever we are able to retail again. So this was the part of the where we have requested on the working capital. Additional, which has been overall what we have requested, that the salary cost is the huge cost. As a dealership, it's around 35 to 45%. So the government can think of supporting us from the ESI funds. We are all organized players, PF, ESI is paid. So why not ESI pay it as a salary? This was one request. Then obviously further after the lockdown, what we have requested is from demand coming back. So demand revival. So where have we one old thing what auto industry always agrees is that the GST is the highest. It's equivalent to any sin product. So one point was that GST reduction should be there. Not, if they are not agreeing, at least temporarily, so to increase the demand. The depreciation which was given last year by the finance minister because of the slowdown, we had requested it should be extended again this year. And additional to that, what we have requested that even individuals should get the benefit of depreciation. So like people, professionals like you and other service class. So if they are buying a vehicle, they should also get that benefit which a firm has. And obviously, the biggest thing what we are waiting for is scrappage policy as still.
Digital sales and all that contactless program. I'm sure you're following it very closely. So, I mean, how are you part of the ecosystem? Is it that vehicles would be routed from your dealers to the doorstep of the customers, or they're going to buy it directly from the factory, or what is the how are the modalities being worked out? If you're part of the ecosystem, would you like to share something on shed some light on that?
For an Indian human, the psyche, a vehicle buying is a big thing for them. It's not an everyday thing or a once a year thing. For him, it's a once a 5 year thing, or maybe for some people, once a lifetime thing. So, whatever process we say digitally we can do on maybe lead generation, even we can do deals on phone or through WhatsApps or the websites, but the end result has to come to physical. He'll want to come to the showroom, see the vehicle, and pick the vehicle what he wants. So I don't believe that anything going further, at least for 5-10 years in India, will happen where a physical touch point is zero. So 100% digital is not possible. Before COVID, we have seen that the digital leads have grown. So obviously the walk-ins came down from an average, if I say in a percentage, it was walk-ins were before 60%, it came down to 20-25, and digital leads have gone up. That is agreed. It will more grow up. And we'll find that even we will avoid that the customer shouldn't come a lot of time to our dealership. Even our manpower don't want to regularly meet customers because of the fear psychosis is what we have today, at least for another 3 to 6 months. So what we see that the dealer's presence will always be there, and whatever company are wanting, like BMW, Volkswagen, Mercedes, they've already come up with those platforms. Mahindra already had this platform before, which was mysuv.com. Other companies were also having. So maybe a portion will grow more in digital. But the end result, if the test drive has to happen, the dealer has to get in and the test drive will be managed by him. If the customer has to see and choose the color, he has to come down to the showroom, because still checking the exact color on the screen or feeling the same, because a lot of screen have different RGB, CMYK, a lot of things are different. So practically seeing a product and seeing on digital would be a difficult part. But maybe the selection criteria, model criteria, color criteria, he can. But in the end, dealers would be there.
Every OEM actually wants to come out with the largest number of dealerships. That's probably to create a element of trust amongst customers कि इस OEM का इतना dealers हैं. But from a dealer's point of view, having too many dealers in one particular city, does that create competition? Does that actually lower the profits per dealer?
So number of dealerships, outlet of dealerships, everything boils down to viability and what that brand pulls in that area. So obviously, as of today, what I can easily say that overall India is in area where we can say that over dealerization has already happened, because from 2010 or 11 when we started seeing the growth, we have been in an expansion mode. from the manufacturer side, from the dealer side. You see, all the infra has improved, all the setups have, even that if a city has a one dealership, now he has not one setup, he has five setups. So maybe 2010 he was one setup. Even if the company hasn't given two dealership or three dealership, that dealership has been forced upon to give five setups now. So everybody has been in an expansion mode since the last recession, which was 2008 and 9. And that is the biggest problem, that every year the expansion was planned and it has happened, which we saw 2018, the problem year which became. So last year becomes the biggest downfall. This is I feel the worst time where we have seen more than 6 quarters of downfall. I'm not even talking of Corona. Even before, we have seen 2 quarters, 3 quarters seeing downfall for the past 2, 3 recession time for auto, whatever seen. This is the biggest downfall we have seen. So obviously, the kind of expansion it has happened with the outlets, companies coming up with premium showrooms separate and normal showrooms separate, companies increasing the digital showrooms or small showrooms, that has created a lot of space. Obviously, we have reached to the customer, but in the end, it is not viable. So I'm looking at post-corona, there could be consolidation, there could be dealers moving out, that dealer companies could be working on a strategy where they can see how to reduce the infra, keeping the touch points and making the dealer viable. So in another 1 year, I'm not positive we'll be having a good growth, or even what we have seen last year, the numbers, I'm expecting a very good degrowth happening as compared to that.
Stop selling diesel in the entry level category. Am I right, Siddharth?
Right,
Siddharth?
right.
Yeah, like Maruti has stopped selling diesel engines, and Hyundai is also mulling over it. So diesel, not many diesel does see a future in diesel. So I mean, do you think ICE will not have a future? So it's time. It's about time that all dealers move towards e-vehicles. If yes, what is the proportion of e-vehicle dealership that you expect going forward?
One, I don't agree that ICE doesn't have a future. As a dealer, I maybe 5, 10 years later, I'm not saying that. I don't know what will happen in the later stage. Because even today, if you remember, Riva in India since what, 15, 20 years, Mahindra took them more than 8, 10 years. I don't know the exact numbers. MG came up a very good product, but very less numbers. Hyundai came up with a very good product, but very less numbers. So I don't see a lot of things changing towards electric unless and until the electric vehicles become viable or economical to buy. So if I am buying a vehicle of 8 lakhs and if I want an electric of same, if I am taking it at 13 lakh or 14 lakh, it doesn't become viable for a normal customer. One. Second, electric will come, I agree, but it will happen mostly in two-wheelers as of in this space. And maybe not this year, maybe 4 years, 5 years down the line, we see a lot of new electric vehicles coming in. But seeing the on the two-wheeler side, if you see, the majority of retails are happening still in rural and semi-urban, where electricity is still there, but not that quality of electricity where a farmer or a rural person or a semi-person will like to charge every day and night, where he's working on free electricity. So there is some units what he gets every day free. Think of it, will he buy an electric bike and charge those with free electric? I don't know. It could happen. We are all prepared. All dealers are wanting to take electric vehicle dealership, but if you, like I said, there are not a lot of dealers opportunity in the electric vehicle as of today. If you see what is happening at Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, some places where the electric manufacturers are active, they are still not active all India. I don't know one single brand which has dealers all India. Come down, or even the swapping of battery becomes is an easy thing. I expect till that time, I don't see ICE going out or electric becoming the major part.
What do you think is there in store for automotive dealers post-COVID?
See, the dealers have seen bad days before. It's nothing new. I'm not talking about dealers who have come into this line maybe a year or two, but we have been resilient enough before also. We'll be there. Obviously, whenever these tough times happen, you see the below 2-5% dealers will wind off. Obviously, Any dealer who is not debt friendly, is heavy on debt, is his dealership all are on rent. So, like 85% of our gross profit goes into rent, salary, and interest. So, any dealer who is on all three heavy will be a problem for him. So, most of the dealerships who are old dealerships, who are debt friendly, who are good in business, who work diligently, not a problem. Obviously, this year profit wouldn't be much this year. Maybe they'll incur loss also, but they'll be able to manage. Seeing whatever is going on, I'm not seeing any demand coming back at least before the festive season. And even if the festive season comes back, how much will it come back? We can still not be sure about that. So we are keeping our fingers crossed. And as FADA, we are doing a lot of sessions. Even now, we are doing a session of Mr. Anil Lamba on financials with all our dealers on how to conserve cash, how to be viable in the coming times also. So we are doing our bit, but yes, it's tough time, and we'll see some exodus happening. We'll see some manpower also being reduced to be floating till the time things come back. Let's hope for the best.